What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. You got a drink in hand, maybe you got a coffee, something going on. Pour a little bit out. I'm not going to, not in the studio. But metaphorically, pour one out. Because although this is not surprising news, it appears that one of the greats is done. As Ryan Ramczyk has agreed to reduce his salary for this upcoming year from $18 million to a league minimum $1.255 million. Frees up $16.7 million in cap space. And really what it means is that a retirement is coming. Now, let's get to the Saints cap real quick. Okay, they enter the offseason $60 million over the cap. So this gives you some immediate savings there. You're starting to chip away at that $60 million. I like all cap conversations, there's always something kind of lost in the sauce with these numbers where it's really hard to parse exactly what's going on, because it says it frees up $60 million, but they're still technically like a touch above $50 million over the cap. So it's more like a $10 million savings. But then with like post-June 2nd cuts and processing the retirement after then, you can free up another $11 million by deferring payments to 2026. So it's just, let's deal with, instead of getting, because this is not something where the details actually matter, right? Ryan Ramczyk basically nuked his contract. He's going to retire. Brings you from about $60 million to $50 million on the cap. That's all you need to know. For Ramczyk, though, and that's what I want to focus on, because right now you look at the Saints team, and out of that incredible 2017 draft class, of which, was that Ramczyk, Mike, wait, where am I? Which can't guard Mike's last name?
Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Can't guard Mike.
CTE. I could remember his Twitter handle and not his
That's because he does
name.
a lot more on Twitter nowadays.
But not back in the day, because he was the 2017 class as well. That was Ramczyk, Mike Thomas, and Alvin Kamara. Legendary class. And what's wild about all three of those players is, I do not use this lightly. I am not trying to exaggerate. I believe all three of those players had a half decade of their career where they were on a Hall of Fame pace. And let's focus on Ramczyk specifically, because he was immediately all rookie and a Pro Bowler year one. I believe he was already all pro in year number two. And for those that don't know the distinction, all pro is way more, like Pro Bowl's whatever, right? It's not whatever. It's still a huge accomplishment, but it's voted on by fans. A lot of players make it. If you are all pro at your position, that means the other players are saying that you are the absolute best at that position, right? And it's from the NFC and AFC. It is a massive deal. And every year in which he was healthy from the second year on, I'm pretty sure Ryan Ramczyk was an all-pro. And then you look at like Mike Thomas, a guy who, again, the first 4 or 5 years of his career, Hall of Fame potential, setting NFL records, NFL Offensive Player of the Year, injury, it falls apart. Look at Alvin Kamara, a guy changing the game in terms of receiving, catching, yards from scrimmage under Drew Brees, Hall of Fame potential, doesn't have a quarterback anymore at all, falls apart. And so what these three stories do is I think they highlight, when you see someone make the Hall of Fame, just how incredibly rigorous and full of pitfalls it can be to try to put together a true Hall of Fame career. I mean, it is years and years and years of showing up every day and doing everything you can to make it happen. And hell, sometimes you do everything right and your body just betrays you. Look at Ramczyk. Now, I won't necessarily throw Thomas in there, because I think with Thomas's injuries, I think it was some personal mismanagement, which also ended up causing a lot of problems as well. And then Thomas maybe had his own kind of problems with processing it all and whatnot. Oh, okay. Mike Thomas is 2016. That makes
a lot
sense.
of more.
But the point still stands in terms of the path to a Hall of Fame career and how tough it can be. And when you're talking about Ryan Ramczyk, I mean, he has to go down as one of the biggest what-ifs in New Orleans Saints history because not only is it incredibly rare to find a guy with Hall of Fame potential, but when you do in there have the career like Ryan did, you expect him to play for like 10, 15 years. They're going to be your stalwart guy. I mean, even Teron Armstead, it feels like you got damn near a decade out of. And then his knees just betrayed him. And now he's retired. How old is Ryan Ramczyk?
30?
I'm looking it up. Let's see. 30 years old. 30 years old. And really hasn't played since he's like 28. So right when he was entering his kind of, I find from like 28 to 32 is a lot of times when players are at their best mental and physical mix, right? Maybe your raw athleticism is not where it was when you were 23, but the savvy vet tricks of the trade, the mentality, the way the game slows down mentally and how you process it is such that's probably your prime. So right when this man was achieving prime age, his body said, not today. And now he'll never be a Hall of Famer. And maybe he makes the Saints Hall of Fame, but he'll never be in the Ring of Honor. It makes you appreciate guys like Jari Evans, like Ricky Jackson, guys anybody who can make the Hall of Fame and finish the fight. So Godspeed, Ryan Ramczyk. He's a big farm boy, right? Is he from Wisconsin, I believe? He's from somewhere up there, but I hope that he enjoys retirement. Know that you are a warrior. Put the body on the line. We had a lot of fun watching you, Ram. It was awesome, man. Out of a lot of excitement. One of the key cornerstones in that revitalization of the final window of the Sean Payton, Drew Brees era in that 5-year stretch from 17 to 22 when you won more regular season games than anybody in the NFL. Ryan Ramczyk was a major part of it, and I'll never forget it. And who knows how long it'll be before the New Orleans Saints experience something like that again. And we'll always have that god-awful Chinese Ryan Ramczyk jersey that I bought online. Sleeves too long, numbers off center, colors all wonky. But you know what, Ryan? It's mine and it's yours. And that will make it special. It's singular. Greg Lamont says, Mike T completely falling apart, broke my heart. Yeah, man. I know. He was incredible. He was incredible. He was the best receiver in the league. Again, what was it, 149 catches? Nearly 150 catches in the year in which he set the NFL record. And I'll be damned if, Ramczyk, it's injury. Thomas, maybe a bit of injury, but more so than anything with Mike T and Alvin Kamara, it's quarterback. Offensive scheme, right? Look at Christian McCaffrey was in Carolina, then look at Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy in San Francisco. Even look at Kamara last year under Pete Carmichael versus Kamara this year under Clint Kubiak. Had a lot more success. How frustrating would it be? Because that's one of the interesting parts about wide receiver and running back stuff is like, as much as you do help out the quarterback, and you definitely do, right? We're seeing the value of receiver more than we ever thought in the past. That's just another kind of funny element of this. When Mike Thomas was on the come up, it was insane to pay a receiver $20 million. Now you feel like you have to pay a receiver. Your quarterback needs it. But it's a weird position, receiver, because you also need that quarterback. And it can severely limit your output if you don't have that guy. And I think that's something that a lot of these skill positions have here in New Orleans have struggled with the last few years, and it's something that has cost them luster, cost them stats, cost them legacy. And you can't get back legacy. That's why Mike Evans getting those 5 yards for that record was such a big deal, or you can't just get another shot at that. That is a record that is 11 years in the making. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.